Hello, welcome back. This is James Uriel from Axure. Today we're going to look at a design on and off UI switch. Now, I was looking at YouTube for some tutorials, and I look at this Adobe XD tutorial, and I don't use Adobe XD because I feel Axure RP gives me the flexibility to design basically anything I want. So I'm not really convinced how to switch from Axure to XD or to other prototyping tool because I've not really seen the value that they deliver for me. Now this tutorial, it's very good, very short and sweet. However, this switch here was created in a way that Axure RP would have handled it very easy, smooth, and far better than what Adobe XD has done. Now, to create a switch in Adobe XD, and I will imagine as well it's going to work the same way in Sketch. You're going to have to create, different types of hardboard to simulate this switch. So when you click on this switch, then it goes to the page that you've already placed this off on, which I think is just kind of, number one, a bit of, a waste of page, because you don't need to do that when it comes to Axure RP. So I'm going to show you exactly this tutorial for the switch, but how you can design it in Axure RP. So we just get started. Let's give our page some styling here, and I'll just give it color. So let me just say, I don't know, I'm kind of vibrant today, so let me give myself this orange. Okay. So let's assume this is our phone that we're working on. We're not concerning ourselves about the size. Now all we want to design is the switch, and what this person did that switch. So we're going to use this and say, so we have this. So I'll increase this a bit to 125, and I will, this a rectangle widget, a box widget. So I'm just going to say switch underscore states. Okay, and this is what we're going to animate. So we're going to right click and say interactive style, or yeah, we can use interactive style. We might, okay, let's forget that for now. Let's take our Eclipse here, and let's use our Eclipse here, and we say this Eclipse as well. Let's make it same size, and I'll just drop it here. So let's call this color green. Yeah, and let's remove the border for both design. So we have this as color green. I'm just gonna make this a little bit like this. All right. So let's duplicate this and let's put another one here. All right. Now we might use this. There are different ways and techniques to do this type, but I'm going to teach you the simplest way, and I'll give you another kind of clue as well how you can do the other using different types of events. So we have this, and that's it. So we could do this and say, let's duplicate this and call it, let's make it gray for the off bit. All right, so we say this is switch state on, and I will say this is switch state off. All right, so that's fine, and we will just take this here and we'll send it back. so the user is not going to see it at all when the page loads. So once we've done that, we can either remove this or we can leave it there. It doesn't really matter, but we want to simulate the swipe event, so we need to make this a dynamic panel. So I'll just make this dynamic panel and say let's say this is on state, and let's say this is off state. Now if we preview our page, let's take this to here. If we preview what we have, we can, let's preview our page. So this is what we're going to have, but we're going to hide one without showing the other. So simple, in Axure, we've converted this to dynamic panel. We just say when we swipe this right, we're going to hide this, and then we're going to hide the green and show the gray thing that we have here. Let me show you properly so that before we actually start it, let me move this gray here. And I'll move this here, and let's move this up here. Let's leave it for now so that for the purpose of to actually show you what's happening here, I'm going to add on page load, and then I'm going to hide this. I will hide this for now, but we don't really need it if we're going to put it at the back of the green widget. So if we say on page load, I will say hide, and I will say state off. I want to hide it, and I'll just hide it. So if we reload our page, we're not going to see it anymore, because if we don't have the page, we're going to see it here. So we have it on page load, and we are hiding that state. So regardless of anywhere we place it, it's still going to be the case. So we need to add interaction here. So I'll just ungroup this. I'll add interaction on swipe right. Then we're going to show this, and we're going to hide the green state, which is this on swipe right. We will say show show off state, which is this, and then we want to say hide. I'll hide the switch on. I will hide this, and let's say okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this back to the back, right? We're not going to see, so I'll just put it back, and I'll refresh the page. And if I move here, it hides the green, but we're not showing the gray yet. So we need to show the gray. So I'll come here and say again show, which is the state here. We're going to show this, and we have that. So if we refresh the page, we see it as off, and you know, we can swipe back, it's gonna be on. So but we need to hide this. What if we swipe this, then we hide this, and then we show this? So on page load as well, we're going to hide this as well. So on page load, there are so many things that we're going to hide. So we just say hide on page load the off states, which is that. We're just going to hide that and say okay. So if we refresh the page now, we should not see it anymore. So if we go and do like this, swipe, then we will see the state, and we need to hide this as well when we swipe left. So we just say show, hide, show. So I'll put it here and say show. Here will be the on state, and we will change it to hide. So we are hiding the on state, and then we are showing, you know, the status or container that we added. So if we go back to our page, we can see that we have the on state, and we have the hide state. So we are hiding the on state, and then we are showing, you know, the status container that we added. So if we go back to our page, we can see that we have the on state, and we have the hide state. So if we go back to our page, we can switch, and we can apply the same thing when we switch back. So I'm just going to copy what we have here, the case. I'm going to add it here and place it on left, and I'm going to say once we show this off state, we're going to hide off state, and we're going to set on state to show, and we're going to show this, and we're going to hide this. So as you can see, we are not really doing much. We're just switching, which is very easy. So we don't need to create 5 different hardboard. If we have 5 of these, we don't need to create that, because there's no point to create those hardboard. It's just practically a waste of time, really. So once we have that, it's very easy. So exactly what can be done in Adobe XD is what has been achieved here with simple interaction using Axure RP. So if you have any question, any tutorial, you can give me some heads up, and I'll create them in Axure RP for you as well. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you around in the next tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.